Bismillah, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nakia Ulan, one of the engineering student at Polytechnic IDN, and today I'm going to show you how can you config your router redundant. So that is the topology. So we have just next for the first router, we have 12.12.12.12.1 for the IP address, and don't forget to add int L0. The misunderstanding is not LO but L0 because I either misunderstood and cannot, and the config and the router cannot running. So for the second router, so we just add IP address for each router, for first router, second and third, and so for the fourth router. And after that we config BGP redundant, sorry, router redundant. So this is like the first router, but the difference is there is a two hand of the router, so we have to config three for the gateway, two gateway, and one for the router, 2.2.2.2.2. So the third router, same like that. Mm. Mm. For the submesh, don't forget to, for the gateway, 220 255.0, but for the router, the n is not 0 but 255 too. And for the last router, we just config a little bit like the first router because there is just one gateway. And for the router RIP, the first router has two net, one for gateway and one for the router. And for the router BGP, NAY, I don't know what NAY stand for, but here the configuration, so I just following. Remote as the BGP, up L0. So do the third router, int L O, it's not 0, okay? O, int LO0 is for, I don't know, but it's 11.11.11. You just follow. I'm sorry, I'm not right router instead of O router. So for the second router, some like router RIP for the network is for, don't forget to change the last number with a 0 for the all of but except the router. So if the router dot two dot two dot two dot two, you don't have to write dot two dot two dot two dot zero, no, but 2.2.2.2. Actually, I don't know why sometimes we have to add router reflector client, but in the other occasion we don't use that. For example, here I use router reflector client in 1.2.1.1, but in 3 I didn't use router reflector client. But in the fourth router for na 4.4.4.4, I add router reflector client. There is no change about it, but I will find out more after this. After this, neighbor 1.1, yes, but here 1.1.1.1 there's a router reflector client. For the na 2.2.2.2.2, I didn't use router reflector again, router reflector client again. But for the for I maybe when in the middle, nay, the nay in the middle didn't have to add router reflector client. I thought so. So the I'm sorry, I forgot to. It's not net with name. Sorry, it's int, not IP. This is the last router. Just config on nay 2.2.2.2.2 and 1.1.1.1. But in the 2.2.2.2.2 I didn't add router reflector client. I still, so we have to ping. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin. Already I try all the router in the last router, and I want to check from the first router, and all of the router is already connected each other. So so I think that's all for me from thank you very much for your kind attention and beautiful eyes. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi